Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lickness Monster, and this is my review of the Star Wars The Black Series Clone Wars pre-Vizsla. This figure might be one of the most sought after and requested figures in all of the Black Series, and it also might be one of the biggest letdowns of the year. We'll definitely get into that in the review, but looking at the packaging, it's in that amazing yellow Clone Wars box. We have this great artwork here on the side. Love pre-Vizsla, and I especially love Darth Maul here in the background on the throne. That is looking awesome. Flipping around to the back, we have that same artwork, as well as the number. It's number 17 in the Clone Wars line. You can, of course, pause and read the bio if you would like. But, yeah, let's go ahead, crack this guy open, and see what he looks like. So we got him on the spinny stand, and he has a really big problem. And because of that, we're not going to get a spinny stand video today, just because he cannot stand at all. He sucks when it comes to standing. I really tried to like this figure because this is a character that I've been wanting in the Black Series forever, but it's on the old, like, 2016 Jango Fett mold, and he cannot stand up. For starters, his feet, like, they decided to make his feet, like, not flat. They made it this weird shape, has this big, like, boot cut in the middle there, so that doesn't help, but even, like, his entire foot is, like, rounded, and so he, like, wants to rock back and forth. It's really dumb. And with his jetpack on the back here, he's so like back heavy that he just wants to fall backwards. And you can't even move his ankles forward anymore because the armor gets in the way. So you can't like overcorrect lean him forward to counteract the balance. So it really just, it's not good. I literally cannot even get him to stand up for the review. I just want him to stand up in a cool pose for the review, and I can't do it. Okay, did we get it? But yeah, looking at this figure, he comes with a lot of cool new pieces. The helmet looks incredible. The updated Darksaber looks really good as well. And of course, that jetpack is looking... I was like 2 seconds into that. And like I was saying, his jetpack looks really good here on the back. Brand new mold for the jetpack. And of course, the little rocket does come out, which is nice. As well as some little holes at the bottom for blast effects. So I believe these ones here from like the Boba Fett and the Dark Trooper plug in very perfectly. And as you can see, you can use a nice jetpack effect, which is super cool. So if you have some extra one of those lying around, they'll look great with your pre-Vizsla. And one interesting thing about this figure too is he has a little clip here. And if you remember from the show, that's where he holds the Darksaber. But the original Darksaber didn't have a removable blade. So to be able to have that on this figure would be super interesting. So I have the Darksaber here, which also looks great with the updated white. I do want to compare it to the old Darksaber here, if I don't throw it. As you can see, there's a big difference. Much deeper black on the blade, and then a nice white outline to really give it that look. I'm a little upset they don't have the crackle effect, but it still looks leaps and bounds better than the original one with Moff Gideon. And so yeah, we're going to try to remove the blade on this guy. I'm assuming it does have a removable blade. That is awesome. We really didn't know if that was going to be the case, but as you can see here, it does clip right into the back here, nice and snugly, and you can have it holstered like that, which is pretty cool. I gotta say, this figure, articulation-wise, it sucks. It's awful. We'll get into articulation in just a second, but visually, he is stunning. He looks great. I love the paint apps with the design on the chest. I love the logo on the helmet. A brand new helmet, too, which looks great. And, of course, oh my gosh, it's a tight helmet. Pop the helmet off, and you have this amazing pre-Vizsla face. Taking a look, you can see the amazing detail that went into this figure. I love the scar on the face too, but it's crazy how they managed to get that animated look realistic, and it still looks really good. I know they've had troubles with that in the past, but this one turned out incredible, and this is the real selling part for me with this figure, is how cool and how realistic and how good this face looks. Now taking a look at articulation, at the head he does have a side-to-side and an up and down. At the arms he can get up into a T-pose, and it can go all the way around. He does have a cut right up here at like the bicep, so I guess technically he does have a bicep swivel, which is nice. He also does have a swivel at the joint that meets that swivel, and then another swivel at the gauntlet. So he has like 3 swivels all right there, which is quite interesting. But the real problem for me with this one is he has these wires that come down on both sides of the arms. And I love the details, and I love that they included these like loose wires. But the problem is whenever you bend the arm too much and you rotate it the wrong way, it puts a lot of tension on these wires, and they will tear and snap and break. I have 3 figures on this Django body, and all 3 of them have those wires torn. And looking at the elbow articulation, it's not great. This one is like just barely under 90, and the other elbow here like is nowhere close to 90. This one doesn't even get close to it. I don't know why this elbow is so much worse than this elbow, but this one doesn't even get close to 90. That's like a 45-degree angle. That's horrible. Especially for a dual-wielding like pistol character like this guy, he should have like perfect articulation, like wrist to shoulder blades, kind of like, not shoulder blades, like shoulder kind of articulation, like a Rex figure. But this one is just not great when it comes to elbow articulation. As far as waist goes, pretty standard. Just, I think it's on a ball joint, but you don't get much ball. It's just kind of like a twist. Legs can go up a decent amount. He does have a thigh cut. Looking at the knees, double jointed knees, so get a ton of range of motion there. I'm not going to bend it all the way because it's kind of stiff. Ankles have rockers and pivots. So, you know, pretty standard articulation for a 2016 body. It's quite dated, though, and it shows. Anyway, next up here we do have a comparison. All 3 of these guys are in stands, just to make sure that their height are the same, but like I said, the figures in the Django body are just impossible to stand up, and so I have to use stands for this comparison. As you can see, the height is pretty similar between these figures. I think it's looking great, though. All 3 of like the Night Owl kind of Death Watch figures looking good. Now, obviously, this is a Mandalorian Bo-Katan and not a Clone Wars version, but I still think it gets the job done, and all 3 of these guys look really good together. Just wish it had some updated bodies. Now, obviously, when you talk about Pre-Vizsla, you got to talk about the final duel there with Pre-Vizsla and Darth Maul. So you have to compare these figures here. Looking great. Obviously, we have the Mandalorian on the left, and the later seasons of the Clone Wars Darth Maul on the right. They're looking great here, and this is one reason why it's really nice to have Pre-Vizsla here. You can recreate that Pre-Vizsla Maul duel, and it's just looking really cool, and it's nice to have the Mandalorian to go with it. But yeah, it's they look good. They look good together. And then last up for comparisons, we have some figures that would have interacted with Pre-Vizsla. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Clone Wars on the left, and we have Seasons 3 through 5 Ahsoka on the right. Looking great. Like I said, this is just a core Clone Wars character that we've needed for a long time, and it's nice to have him here in the line. Just wish it was under some better circumstances. So overall, I really, really wanted to like this figure. I really did. I think that this is a figure that we've been asking for and been wanting for a long time in the line. And so to finally see him get announced on this Django body, it was a real letdown. Like I said, I tried to like him, but I can't score him any higher than a 3 out of 5. I think the face is great, the brand new helmet is incredible, the jetpack looks great, and the updated Darksaber is really, really good. But the problem is the Django body. If this was on a brand new body or any other body but the Django body, it would be a 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, hands down. But, you know, it can't stand up on its own. It can't get anything in a good pose because of how bad the elbow articulation is. Overall, he just looks beefy and clunky, and it's not great. So, yeah, 3 out of 5. I wish I could score him higher, but there's so much better they could have done with this figure, and it is a big letdown for such a highly desired figure. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this figure, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.